This is case number 2513570 FH, People versus Jeffrey Atwood Jr. We're here on his motion for reduction in jail sentence. You can go ahead, Mr. Cavello.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Charles Cavello for the defendant Jeffrey Atwood. Mr. Atwood has done well. I think that I submitted a letter from the sheriff saying he's done well, and I think the prosecutor checked. I came up to see him in October, and he was already an outside trustee. And I said, well, we have to wait a while before we file this motion. So he's been doing good in the jail and trying to do whatever he can to get, whatever release he can get, early release. I've spoken with him, and I discussed a bit his record is it's challenging, but he says to me all the things that I hear from people who have turned it around. He wants to turn his life around. He's tired with the incarceration life. He's tired of going in and out of being locked up. He recognizes that he gets led astray easily by other people. So in that, I'll follow up on that. He said that recently people have been released from here who've gone to Bear River. He doesn't want to go to Bear River if he's released into some kind of rehab. He wants to go to Harbor Hall. He has called Harbor Hall himself. He got access to a phone, called them, arranged for payment. There's a bed waiting for him at Harbor Hall. So if he is released, he intends to go to Harbor Hall and seek treatment. Otherwise, I think he's made a case for being a candidate for some reduction in his jail sentence. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything that you want to say on your own behalf, Mr. Atwood?
I know I'm just over 7 months into the sentence, but in 2 weeks I'll have been here for a full year. The assignments and stuff I'm given as trustee, I've been doing them to the best of my ability because that's who I am as a sober person. I'm done cutting corners, and I want to do the rehab for me, to be there for my family, because my 2 children back here, they deserve a father they can depend on. My fiance deserves to have a husband that's present mentally and physically. And so I want to do the rehab to myself to win a battle. And that's the person I'm ready to be going forward, Your Honor.
What do you think you're going to learn in rehab?
I think I could be given some extra tools to help deal with stressful situations that usually I would revert back to using to escape stresses, daily stresses just from life and stuff. I'm sick of just feeling down about myself. I'm sorry for myself, and I think a self-esteem and mental side is a lot of reason behind my substance abuse, and just some professional advice on how to keep my life in a good schedule and live a productive life.
Did you hire Mr. Cavello to submit this motion for you, or is that part of an application for leave to appeal?
Yes, sir. That it was part of the appointment. It was you appointed him for me.
Okay, but you asked the court for an attorney for appeal.
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't feel like I was prepared to do it on my own.
To do what on your own?
To put pleadings and stuff in for the court.
Yeah, why did you think that you needed to do that?
Well, I was hoping that with some time and being able to show my attitude and conduct while I'm incarcerated, that that might be able to earn a reduction?
No, that doesn't make sense because you request an attorney on June 25th. And that was within 2 weeks of you being sentenced. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is you had an agreement for the cap of the midpoint of the advisory guidelines. And the prosecution was pushing hard for you to go to prison at the time of your plea. At the time of your sentence, the probation department was recommending prison. The prosecutor was okay with county time. And, you know, I had a lot of history with you already because you had gone to prison, not for my sentence, but you'd gone to prison. I got out in 2021. Within 5 months, you're back in district court, no insurance, bad plate. Within a month of that, it's methamphetamine, maintaining a drug house. While you're on parole at that point, I knew you're off parole. Anyways, but then they plea that down. Then you get the felony fleeing looting. On parole, violate probation, go to parole. Come back out, catch a meth case. It's like, you know, and then after all of that, to keep in the county jail, you get less than what your plea agreement could have called for. And then you file an appeal. So I'm trying to figure out what issue you thought that you needed to appeal.
I guess I'm not sure. I appreciate that you didn't send me to prison and stuff like that.
Doesn't sound like it. I mean, people that appreciate your sentence don't ask the court to spend more money on an appeal where you got, I mean, where I read all the transcripts, you were advised of all your rights, you were explaining what the deal was, you accepted your plea, you got sentenced to less than that you could have. And that doesn't sound, someone who's appreciative of that doesn't file an appeal, doesn't cost the county hundreds of dollars to push an appeal. So what was your frame of mind?
Not sure, Judge. I'm just hoping for the opportunity to prove that I can come through and not be a disappointment. I wasn't trying to like abuse the process. That wasn't my intention.
That's what I'm asking. What was the legitimate issue that you felt like you had, other than just sticking it to the man, or I'll cost the county some money, or whatever? So that's why I'm asking the question.
Well, I mean that I didn't consider it from that angle. I was hoping if there was some way to maybe after being able to have some time and kind of not be to be continuing the eye in a negative way, that there might be a way to prove that I could do better.
Mr. Walker?
We don't really take no position on this. The court knows, I guess, the information, the PSI has hit a 110 PRV. The court's already aware of that. I did reach out to David Cook from the jail. They did describe his conduct in the jail as fantastic as a trustee. Lieutenant Bailey came over, also indicated he's been a very, very good trustee for what it's worth to the court.
There's no doubt about that, because I mean, generally, whenever Mr. Atwood's in court and he wants something, he's very apologetic and soft-spoken. Sometimes you come in with a crappy attitude like you did back in April on this case, but I get it.
I apologize.
And as I told you at your sentencing, at the time, I think that you believe that you want all this stuff. The problem is that as soon as you get out, it all goes to the wayside. All the promises to the family, all the promises to the court, all the good intentions. Life in general is just too much for you. You've been through a lot. I get it. I don't know how somebody who spends 10 years in prison, comes back out and, can function in society. I don't know. But your history is you come in, you're sorry, you're contrite, you have all the best intentions, and it does not carry through. You can stop raising your hand. This isn't school.
I know.
It's not your case. So this Harbor Hall, my experience with them is that they're more alcohol related. And that could be old information. Most people go to Bear River and they're kind of specializing in methamphetamine and harder drugs. Do you know if Harbor Hall has a program geared towards methamphetamine?
Yes, when I did the intake with them, that's what they said. They said that I would work in with the program. My only hesitation for the Bear River is because just recently from in the jail, I know like a half dozen guys that just went up there, and they're people that I knew from out there, and I don't want rehab to be a reunion or a distraction. I want to make the most of it. I'm fed up with living the hard life. I don't want to go that road anymore, and I'm ready to do something with myself.
Well, in the court's experience, methamphetamine is kind of like nothing else that we've run across.
It's horrible. I hate everything about it because it's destroyed my life. And
But in terms of a treatment, it's like nothing we've run across before. Alcohol, they can do pretty well with. Opiates, narcotics, they can do pretty well with. There's no great program that we've seen, for methamphetamine. That's just why I was asking, does Harbor Hall, is that what they're doing now? Because it's kind of specialized.
I mean, the extent of the programs, I didn't make it much further past the assessment, and we're doing the intake, and they said that as of right now, my application was too early because they can't be more than 30 days old. They can't reserve the bed for more than 30 days. And I told them I was coming back into court, and they said if it changes to call them back tomorrow. But otherwise I had to wait till 30 days prior to release to have them reserve it.
And then you can get more information at that point.
But that's a good point. I will double check with that to make sure that there's a program that they offer the service that I need.
How long do you think you're would stay in Harbor Hall or Bear River?
I want to do the minimum of 30 days. I'm not sure, like if for instance, the methamphetamine program, like if they got 60 or 90 days, I'm just going to go there and follow through with their recommendations.
So I'll tell you what happens with some people is that they go up there, they do 30 days or something like that. Then the lure to get home to family, loved ones, start making some money, and all of a sudden treatment takes a second back seat to life again. And guys in your situation, you probably need more than just 30 days.
And I'm open, like I said, I'm going to follow whatever their recommendations. And as far as going to, I spoke to them about some relocation services because Grant's a small town, and like I said, there's a half dozen people just in the last couple of months from Grant that I know that went there to Bear River. I'm ready to get out of Grant and just So I don't have those distractions on the running into people at the store, because that's what happened this last time I relapsed. When, you know, I was having a hard time finding a job at first when I got out of prison, depressed, feeling down about myself, and hey, I run into an old acquaintance at the gas station. Like, we'll stop by, and it just makes it that much easier. I know this stuff's everywhere, but I'm looking for a fresh start after this.
All right, so under your original sentence, I gave you a year. I was going to allow you to do the last 30 days in a rehab program. I'll let you do your last 60 days in a rehab program.
Okay.
But it's going to be an inpatient program. To get that release, you got to show the court that you're going to be inpatient for 60 days. And I don't care where it is. I mean, if it's Bear River, great. If it's Harbor Hall, great. Someplace else, it's great. It's got to be inpatient.
So,
And Mr. Cabello, you'll prepare the order.
Yes, sir.
It's offered to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you.